Y'all, it was a long vacation. I haven't slept for 10 days because that would be too long. Hello, team, and welcome back. It is good to see you. I hope your Thanksgiving was amazing. Mine was pretty fair. I had a good time. It was wonderful. And I know yours was good too. I am thankful for you and thankful for our school. And hopefully, hey, if you're back in person, great. If you're not, we're still learning together. All right? You're in the right spot. This is where you should be. So, what are we talking about? Well, if you remember last time, we finished up the medicine bag, and you finished the medicine bag by proving that you could write a narrative, a story from Grandpa's perspective. This is a really fun exercise. Take any story and rewrite it from another character's perspective. So if you have not finished that, you need to finish that like right now. Stop the video where it's at, go back to the other lesson, rewatch it if you need the instructions, but you need to finish that. It is a big deal. So finish that story, and we're gonna make it look amazing. Now, assuming you're done with that, you're done with Grandpa's story. We're moving on to a new section in this unit where we'll be talking about coming of age. We'll be talking about rites of passage. Rites of passage. We talked about rites are like rituals. They are things you do that are very important. There's usually a lot of religion or procedures around it that makes it feel like a very, very important moment. And passage, passing from childhood into adulthood. So what are the rituals we do to pass from childhood into adulthood? We're going to watch a story, very interesting for these next couple of lessons. We're actually going to watch a story of a young lady who goes through a rite of passage, and she is Native American. And so we get to see firsthand what this process is like. In the medicine bag, we read a story, but it was not a traditional way, and it was a made-up story, though it was based on a lot of really clear facts. So we're going to get to see firsthand what is this experience like for her. So in your textbook, you should have this guy, this thing called Apache Girls Rite of Passage, Student Edition Unit 1. This is going to be located in your assignments, probably in the not begun yet area. So you need to go ahead and click on this and pause the video if you need to look at this, but this is where it is. Okay, so pause the video if you need to. All right, now once you click on that, you should see this page right here or something like it. And again, you know, I like EasyBridge, I like the textbook, but this setup is terrible. How am I supposed to watch this video? It's like, what is this? It's like I'm looking out of a tank or something, trying to see through the little slotty window. I think what we need to do is shrink this. How do we do that? Yep, right up here. Top right, underneath my head, click the hide button, boom. All right, that's going to help us out quite a bit. So today's lesson, we're going to be analyzing a video for the next couple of lessons, and for this one, we're just going to prep a couple things. We're going to look again at our essential questions. So look at this question here, if you please. It says, what are some milestones on the path to growing up? And again, if you forgot, a milestone is a way we keep track of how far we've come, okay? It's like a stone every mile on a journey. You go, oh, that's the 5th stone. I've come 5 miles. When we say milestones on the path to growing up, what are the things you did when you were 2 that you're like, I'm growing up now? Like, I'm feeding myself. Or what are the things that happened when you were 8 that were milestones? Where you're like, I read my first chapter book by myself. Or what were the things that happened when you were 12? Okay? What are things that are going to happen this year, next year, the year after? What are those things that are special? Driver's license, what are those things? So we're going to be answering those questions. And for this young lady, we're going to see some of the things that are important for her on her journey. Okay. What you're going to need today is this video. And we're going to be looking under the Making Meaning section. So if you want to click that out, making meaning. We're not doing all of this today, but we are doing a good chunk of this. Okay, we're going to be handling comparing text to media, media vocabulary, first review, and comprehension check. Okay, we're going to be doing all four things. We will also have an Easter egg during this lesson. Don't let me forget. And the last one was amazing. I had students emailing me saying, Mr. Faber, you forgot the Easter egg. And for those of you who watched it, this is hilarious. But I actually went, I didn't forget to put an Easter egg in. And you totally got me. It was amazing. But today, handling these four, that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get started. You should have this clicked out. We've already looked at our essential question. Remember, we can highlight as we need. I'm going to click down comparing text to media. Click that down for me. This is just a bit of instruction for us as we think about the medicine bag and everything we learned about the Native American tradition in that story. We're going to compare it to what we see here today. So read with me and highlight what you need to highlight. The video you will watch features an Apache girl participating in tests of strength and endurance. Okay, tests of strength and endurance. This seems like important information. I'm highlighting it, and you should too. As you watch the selection, oh wait, they're prepping me. I'm supposed to do something. As I watch the selection, compare the public rite. I know rite means like a ritual, so some ritual she's doing. Compare the public ritual she's doing with the personal experience of the boy in the medicine bag. Okay. So there's some contrasting words here. It says the public rite. I'm going to make a note for myself because public versus private is a big deal. Public means everyone sees it. Everyone sees. And private, only me or someone else sees. So as we watch this, I'm going to save. As we watch this video, we need to compare this girl's very public ritual. So I predict we're going to see something where she's doing something in front of a lot of people. Okay, this will have something to do with her being in front of a lot of people. We're going to compare that with the personal experience of the boy. And if you remember at the end of the medicine bag, the experience was so personal that Grandpa said, don't tell anybody. He said, you are not to tell anybody as long as you live until you're ready to pass this on to your son. That is the only time you tell him. It's quite a burden to carry, but we'll get into that. So that's our job. As we watch, we're going to be thinking about the medicine bag and how we respond to that. Let's go ahead and click down media vocabulary. Okay. This says the following words or concepts will be useful, will be useful to you as you analyze, discuss, and write about the video. So we have some vocabulary words that we will be using for the rest of these couple of lessons. So let's look at this. Click it out with me. And I'm just going to read the first one. I want you to cross your heart right now and be a good person, because I'm going to tell you to read through this, and I really do want you to read through this. Okay? I want you to read everything. I'll read the first one with you, so I give you an example of how to read it and think out loud, and then I want you to really read it. Mr. Faber, I don't have to read this. I can just click off of it and fast forward in the video. I know you can, but that's cheating yourself, and that's making you not have the words you'll need in this activity. So don't skip this part, okay? So let's look at the first one. And I'm just thinking out loud, so you follow the way I'm thinking. This is what you should be doing. Narration. And I go, I think I know what narration is. It has something to do with like the person telling the story, right? Let me see what it says. Narration, the commentary that accompanies a film. Oh, it's not just about who tells the story. This is related to film. And I look down, I see the word film here too. A camera shot. Okay, so all of these words, we're talking specifically about what happens in film. the commentary. I'm not sure exactly what that word means, but it is probably a comment. So the comment that accompanies a film, narration. So it's probably the words that happen when a film is going on. Okay. Let's see what this says. The narration may clarify events or add background and further information. Okay. So now I know that narration is something about a voice coming over the video that explains things better for me. Maybe you knew that already. I'm just thinking out loud. You get what I'm doing. All right, I want you to go ahead and pause the video here. Look at all the rest of these and make sure you scroll down because synchronization is the last one, or sync. So pause the video here. You paused? Good. All right, I'm exiting out. Thank you for doing that. If you didn't, rewind to go do it. All right, so let's look at the next thing. I'm going to close out comparing text to media because we're done. Media vocabulary, we're done. And now we are looking at first review. First review. Click that down with me. This says let's try again. This says refer to the information below as you watch the video. Mr. Farmer, I already watched the video already. I know, it's fine. Go ahead, watch the video. But just make sure you look over this first. Refer to the information below as you watch the video. As you watch, write down your observations. I'm supposed to write it down. And questions. Noting time codes. That means if I see something interesting at like 5 minutes and 10 seconds, I'll just write down 5 minutes, 10 seconds. And a little bit of description what happened. So when I click this out, did you see what I did? I clicked out this thing. When you click this out, there's a whole chart you can fill in. I'll be honest with you guys. I think this is overkill. I think this is too much. So I don't want you to do this whole thing. I want you to look over. It says, who is speaking, what is being said, and how is it being said? I mean, I don't even know. Not important. It is important, but it's not a big deal. Note elements that you find interesting and want to revisit. Yes, do that. Anything that you're like, whoa, I want to watch that part again, make a note of it and what interests you. Connect ideas in the video to other media you've experienced. Okay, what are some other movies or videos you've seen? What are some books you've read about Native Americans? What's a story you read recently? Texts you've read, images you've seen. And finally, respond by completing the comparison check. This is on a whole other sheet of paper. Mr. Faber, what do you want me to do? Look, I want you to watch this video and just pull up some little side notes here. I'm going to give you an example. You guys can see my notes here. Okay. So I'm going to watch the first part of the video so you can see what I do. These are my notes. You can do yours in Google Docs if you want to create a new Google Doc and put it on the side like mine. That way you can watch the video and type at the same time. But I'm going to give you an example of what I'm doing. I want to note anything interesting on my first watch. Anything interesting that I can just connect with on the text. So, my first review. Write down my observations and questions. Simple enough. Things I observe and questions I have. Now, with this player, there are a couple things you can do. You can click View Full Screen. I'm not going to do that simply because I need to see my notes. But if you need to, go for it. I'm going to watch the first part and give you an example of what I want you to do. So we're going to watch this and, see what happens. So, clicking play. Oh, by the way, we're going to do this first. This little one here. This is a little introduction to what we're going to watch. Play this. Actually, don't play this. Just listen because I'm going to play it. You listen. If you can't hear it, then you do need to play this. But here we go. Let's see.
Apache Girl's Rite of Passage by National Geographic. Video. Background. For hundreds of years, the Mescalero Apaches were nomadic hunters and warriors who roamed throughout the American Southwest and northern Mexico. Today, this Native American tribe lives on a major reservation in New Mexico in what was once the center of their homelands. The ceremony in this video is one of their most important and sacred traditions. About National Geographic. The National Geographic Society was founded in 1888 and is one of the largest non-profit scientific and educational institutions in the world. Its magazine, National Geographic, allows people to read about places and cultures that they might otherwise never experience. In addition to the magazine, the National Geographic Society produces films, videos, and television shows.
Okay, you can see I just took some notes on that. If you weren't able to hear that audio, just play it for yourself, but those are the notes I took on that audio. Let's go ahead and do this.
Beneath White Mountain in New Mexico, the Mescalero Apache Reservation prepares for a coming-of-age ritual. Over the span of 4 days, 13-year-old Dashina Cochise will pass through ancient tests of strength, endurance, and character that will make her a woman. The Mescalero Apache hold the ritual every 4th of July. It's a grueling ordeal.
4th of July. That's interesting to me. So I'm taking basic notes. Coming of age ritual, 4 days. Dashina faces tests, makes her a woman. And then I heard something about 4th of July, and I have a question about that. Like, I know the 4th of July is a celebration of the independence of America, but Native American Indians were here before the founding of America. So I'm like, what? Why the 4th of July? Why would they celebrate the 4th of July? Like, I know they're Americans now because they live in America, but they actually have their own nation. I don't know. So it's interesting. 4th of July. Why do they celebrate America's independence? Independence. Or is it a random date? Just a question I have. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to type your notes, and you're going to type questions. Anything you observe or anything you have a question about. You got this. Pause the video here. Come back when you're done. Okay. So you have now finished this video all the way to the end. And we are going to go ahead and Easter egg it. I know you've been waiting for that. All right, here's your Easter egg task. I want you to draw some funny little creature on your Bears ticket and come hand it to me. If you don't have a Bears ticket, come up to me and say, Mr. Faber, I need a Bears ticket. And you could draw on the back, draw a funny little animal. It can be like a little, whatever, a dog, cat, lion, tiger, liger, any kind of crazy animal. Draw it on the back of there. Show me that thing. Signatures are yours. Okay? All right, now you finished this video. Let's look at what's next here. I'm going to go ahead and shrink my notes so they're out of the way. Okay, good. There we go. All right, so close this. You've written down your observations and questions. What's really cool about this, by the way, is that if you highlight, you always know what you're supposed to do. Because if you're ever in the middle of the video, like, wait, why am I watching this? You go back to the directions. It says write down your observations and questions. That's it. So always highlight. Always, always, always highlight. Let's go ahead and shrink this and go back to comprehension check. Now in comprehension check, okay, we're after first review. Comprehension check is the last thing we're doing today. And I'm going to let you just go ahead and get after it. It says complete the following items after you finish your first review of the video. What was the purpose of Dakina's coming of age ritual? If you don't remember, go back and watch it. What are the symbols? That means what are the representation things? There weren't like Chinese symbols. That's not what they're asking about, symbols. They're asking about what are the objects or the rituals or the random things they would do that you're like, why are you putting this on her head? Like, what? It symbolizes something. It represents something else. The next one, what special places, events take, and tasks are part of the ritual? Simple, go back if you need to. What happens to Dakina at the end of the 4-day ritual? And finally, confirm your understanding of the video by writing a description of the setting, the people, and events the video portrays. You will fill out each of these in each of these little notebook spots. And I look forward to seeing your answers and hearing what you think about how these things compare. So, pause the video, get that done. You're back? You are back. You are back. And you are done? You are done? You are done. Excellent. Man, I'm proud of you. Welcome back into the swing of things. I know that turkey was good, but turkey time is over. Man, we only have 3 weeks till Christmas. You guys are going to kill it. Keep it going. I will see you on the next video. Peace.